I think some of you did speak that Pakistan's relationship with Africa at the moment is because of UN peacekeeping operations. And since we teach UN peacekeeping operations in our university, so it's important for us. But as Dr. Bakar and I, myself, we were talking this morning that you don't know how long this UN peacekeeping would last because Trump wants to curtail funds. He has already pulled out of WHO. Wherever he sees that funds are not being used according to his satisfaction, he'll pull out. So UN peacekeeping depends on fund providing countries, and one of the largest fund providing countries is USA. There are other countries also, China also, but it might reduce. So in my personal opinion, we are losing out on these UN peacekeeping operations. Every year we send out people. Presently, we have more than 5,000 troops deployed in at least 5 missions. All of them are in Africa. I don't think we really capitalize on the huge amount of information that we are gathering over there. I was talking to one of my friends who's now a general, and he said, I needed a room for, and the construction cost was so high that I invited worker from Pakistan, and he constructed the same thing at a fraction of the cost. So I said, why don't you tell FW or other construction companies to go to Africa? Pakistan has so much experience in construction, in CPEC also, so many of our construction firms are involved. We are building dams. So and I remember NESPAC once upon a time was a big construction company. So what I'm trying to say is UN peacekeeping operations, we ought to capitalize on it before it dies out. That is one thing. Second thing that I want to bring across is, I think none of you have touched that, is the South Asian diaspora in Africa. There are many people of South Asian descent who are living in Africa, people who went there as construction workers, as with the British military, with British construction firms who established businesses over there. I remember as a child in my school in Peshawar, we have people from Gujarat, Kathiawar, who we used to call Tanzanians because they were Muslims and their parents had sent them to Peshawar in our school to study, and they were just known as Tanzanians. And I don't know where they disappear. I really don't know. They live in Karachi. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 6 to 8 lakh Tanzanian African.
But what I'm trying to say is still, I remember when Idi Amin was thrown out, a lot of South Asians went to Britain, they got nationalities. But I know that there are people in Malawi, there are people in Uganda, there are people in Tanzania. We know that South Africa, a lot of people with dubious affiliations with MQM are living in South Africa. So there are people whom we can tap and for connectivity issues. I think that's a great need to do that. Then we talked about the Pakistani contribution to the freedom movements in in Africa. And since I wrote the book on Somalia and my unit participated in peacekeeping operations in Somalia, I know that Pakistan sent a delegation to commemorate the Somali Independence Day in 1960. Now Pakistan does not have an embassy in Somalia. It's a shame. I hope our colleagues in Foreign Office will think of Somalia, the Horn of Africa, as a strategic location in the world affairs, because all the sea lines of communication, all the oil routes pass through the Horn of Africa. And today in Djibouti, there are military establishments of the US, France, Britain, even Saudi Arabia and China. India as well. So we contributed to the Somali independence. We even sent military trainers to Somalia to train them during the Ogaden War. And when my unit landed in Somalia, the chants that you used to hear on Somali streets was Pakistan, Somali, Walal, Walal, brother, brother. So now they don't even speak to you because they think that you played the American game. So I think we need to Turkey is building hospitals in Somalia. UAE is very active in Somalia. Somalia is a very, very important country. And as somebody mentioned, there's offshore oil also there, and they're discovering oil. There were also, once upon a time, some discussion about uranium being found on Somali soil. The only thing that we discuss about Somalia is the drought and famine and other things. We do not discuss about the riches that are buried under the waters or under the earth, so under the soil. So these things we have to recapture these areas. With Nigeria, we have got very strong military relations. I don't know whether you know it or not. Every year, so many Nigerians come to CIPS and NDU, and the largest number. So we have a very good relationship with some African countries in terms of military training. We have actually established the Zimbabwean Air Force. We have established many of their military academies, training institutions. So there we have, but as somebody, Farzana Sahiba said, we are operating in silos. That should actually permeate into the civil sector also. About the anti-piracy thing, Pakistan Navy is part of two task forces, Task Force 150 and 151, and they are both supposed to be counter-terrorism, counter-piracy. So it's not that Pakistan is not involved in counter-piracy operation. They are there, but that can be improved. We can go to Namal. We can speak to General Jafar. He's from my unit, and we can tell him that why can't we have Swahili or other languages being taught in Namal, because I know that peacekeepers who are sent abroad in Francophone Africa, they go to Namal to learn French, but not Swahili, or I don't know. There's so many Swahilis only on the west coast or eastern, so nearer to our areas. But we can talk to him. Maybe he can agree to, when I have an African gentleman with him, perhaps he can agree to, yes, I agree. Namal should be teaching. There's so many Somalis over here. I don't know which language.
Students, they are Somalis.
Yeah, I know that. Yes. There's a young Somali boy who came to meet me also, and he said, come with me to Bergesha or something. We are having a book fair. I said, I don't know whether I can go there, because after that Corona happened. So there are many things that can be done, and apart from defense export or other things. So that's all from my side, Kulsum. Thank you very much.